To see you this morning. Just want to ask you, how did you first find out about the bombing of Iran's nuclear sites? What was your initial reaction?
Well, we kind of had a heads up that something was happening, wasn't read in on the details. Of course, as soon as it started taking place, we got a heads up that it's taking place before it was public. I was not surprised by it. I didn't, as I was been saying all last week, that if Israel wasn't allowed or wasn't able to finish a job, we would finish a job. They didn't have the technology, they didn't have the bombs or the delivery capability, meaning the B-2s, to be able to actually hit Fordow. Remember, Fordow, Charlotte, was an area that the Iranian regime has declared impenetrable, meaning that they didn't think anything could destroy it. They built it deep enough with enough concrete. They didn't even know that the weapons that we have were designed to be able to go down that deep and penetrate through the system. I also believe that that's where they moved a lot of their stockpile. So it was very strategic, even to the point of them firing the 30 Tomahawk missiles from the two submarines first to test their air defense system or to distract their air defense system for the B-2s to go in and deliver their payload. It was very strategic, right on target. It was kind of the shock and awe moment of President Trump. We got in and got out. President Trump has been very clear, Charlotte, from day one when he walked off the escalators in New York in 2015 and announced he was running for president. He made a statement then that Iran would never be able to have a nuclear weapon, and he's absolutely correct. That is the worst thing that could happen.
I want to get into some of the criticism that we've seen as well from those on the left, specifically chiming in with their reaction to the airstrikes. One of them is New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Writing on X, and it's on your screen here, says, quote, "The president's disastrous decision to bomb Iran without authorization is a grave violation of the Constitution and congressional war powers. He has impulsively risked launching a war that may ensnare us for generations. It is absolutely and clearly grounds for impeachment." You've heard this, you've heard impeachment being floated around. You've heard that what the president did was unlawful or it violated the Constitution. We've heard from Minority Leader in the Senate, Chuck Schumer, that perhaps he wants to bring this up there on the Senate floor to discuss the War Powers Act. What would be your response to all the criticism that we've seen thus far by the left?
Well, I would simply respond to AOC as simply saying, you're a socialist. You proclaim to be a socialist, and you're starting to quote the Constitution. Interesting. If you actually get into the president's authority, underneath Article 2, it's pretty vague. The president did not commit troops. The court has went through this process multiple times. The president does have the right to react to protect personnel, assets, or proliferation of life of a weapon of mass destruction if it was so deemed to be in the United States interest. His responsibility then is to inform Congress within 48 hours. That obviously has taken place. He obviously reached out to Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer. Neither one, as we are told, that even answered their phone. So to say that it's an impeachable offense, keep in mind, this is the same individual, AOC, that tried to impeach the president every time he hiccups. So she has zero credibility with the American people. She has zero credibility even talking about the Constitution, and she's completely irrelevant.
I want to ask you, are you concerned at all about threats to domestic security following this attack on Iran? Do you think we should be worried at all here at home?
Well, you always have to be vigilant after something like this, Charla. But to be truthful, I don't believe the Ayatollah or the current regime in Iran is suicidal. If they were to attack us in our homeland, we would have to respond with overwhelming force, and we would destroy them. At the same time, I'm not looking to overthrow the regime. If the regime can stay in place, if the Iranian people want to keep them in place, that's fine. all we have said very clear, they will not be able to have a nuclear weapon. Can you imagine Iran, who's a world sponsor of terror, to be able to have a nuclear weapon? At some point, we would have to deal with them. Keep in mind, they've killed over 1,000 American citizens and troops over the last 40 years. These are the people that chant death to America and burn our flag for the last 40 years. If they would have a nuclear weapon, we would have to deal with them today, or we'd have to deal with them tomorrow. Today's the best time to do it. And so we are, unless a regime is looking to die, then for them to attack us on our home soil would be absolutely reckless on their part. However, I do believe that Americans that are staying in Western hotels in the Middle East, I believe our troops and our bases, our other assets, State Departments, assembly, ambassadors, houses, our embassies, they all need to be very vigilant this time, because I could see where they would try to attack us on a foreign soil.
All right. That is Senator Markwayne Mullin joining us from the Capitol, taking the time on this Monday, again, in reaction to Operation Midnight Hammer. Senator, good to see you. Thanks.
Thank you.